It takes a special kind of player to be doing this to attackers at the age of 20. This is Khusanov, the new Manchester City signing. Big money for big potential. There was a lot of interest for the Uzbekistan international. Manchester United, Newcastle, Tottenham all wanted him, but it was City who won the race. With the club struggling and Pep losing the last bit of hair he had left, they needed reinforcement. So who exactly is Abdukodir Khusanov, and how does he fix City's problems? Let's find out. Now, City have been active in the transfer window as soon as it opened, so I imagine that Khusanov will be one of many signings. He is a fast and aggressive defender who had established himself as a key figure in Lens' team. He only missed 2 matches in Ligue 1, and that was because of a suspension for a red card he got in November. His speed allows him to cover space for players that might be out of position. I'm looking at you, Lincoln Burrows. Add a beard to this guy and he looks like he was training with the Abduragimov boys in the mountains. Now, a reason why many people haven't heard of this guy has nothing to do with his talent, but rather because of his unconventional journey. Khusanov stayed in his homeland Uzbekistan until the age of 18, but his career has moved quickly since. In March of 2022, he joined a Belarusian club called Energetic BGU. He got his first goal for the club on the 2nd of May 2022, and in the same match, he got 2 assists, which is pretty crazy output for a center back. 1 goal, 2 assists, he's better than United's entire attack. Just a few weeks later, he got a goal and assist against Slavia. In just a short span of time, Khusanov had really impressed, and after just 18 months, found himself moving from Belarus to Ligue 1, joining Lens for just 100,000 euros. On the Lens website, when he was actually signed, they described him as someone with a big build with a potential to be polished in the long run. I would say that description still applies now because Khusanov is still very raw. He's got a lot of potential, but it's going to take him time to adjust. Playing as a starting center back for Lens in Ligue 1 is very different than playing center back for Pep Guardiola's Manchester City side in the Premier League. After all, according to Cristiano Ronaldo, Ligue 1 is actually worse than the Saudi League because they don't have 40 degrees weather.
You said the Saudi League was better than Ligue 1.
The French League?
Yeah.
Easy. To run in 38, 39, 14 degrees and sprint a few times to see.
By that logic, well, the Indian Super League must be the toughest league in the world. Cheers, Ronaldo. If I was getting paid what you and Neymar are, I would probably say the same thing. Now, as I said before, the 2 standout features of Khusanov's game is his speed and aggression. He is constantly hounding the opposition attackers. He will stick right to their back and snap at any loose balls, even if he ends up somewhere near the corner flag. Just look at him in the match against PSG, chasing Gonzalo Ramos and Barcola all the way on the wings. The Athletic actually compared his style to Ruben Dias. Dias does a similar thing where he makes sure the attacker is under immense pressure when his back is to goal, and the Portuguese isn't afraid of chasing loose balls. Now, of course, it goes without saying, the Uzbek defender still has a long way to go to reaching Ruben Dias' level, but he does have one quality that is already better than Ruben Dias, and that's his speed. He is so fast, and he does his best work covering the channels because he reads the game super well and of course is super quick, which is a great quality to have for a City center back. City holds the ball so much that they realistically only get attacked on the counter, so having that sort of speed to be able to cover the wingbacks when they push forward is going to be essential. So now if the team gets caught and everyone is forward, Khusanov can spot the danger and quickly cover the space. Given the fact that Guardiola, Rico Lewis, Kyle Walker, realistically whoever's playing at wingback likes to push up, it's good to have that level of safety right behind them. Having said that, one of Khusanov's weaknesses is his decision making. Sometimes he gets carried away with how quick he is and he starts chasing the ball, completely leaving his man or going really out of position. And to be honest, I get it. If you're that quick, you constantly want to sprint, you have a lot of faith in your abilities. I mean, if I was that fast, I wouldn't stop running. But it's a part of his game that will have to improve under Pep. He will iron those bonehead decisions out of him within a few months. He is really good at dealing with crosses and balls in the air. Pause. And City could use a lot of that. They need more physicality. Ever since Pep's success with 4 center backs in the 2023 treble year, he has really made an effort to find defenders who are physical beasts. He pretty much found the meta or the best solution to being countered, and that's to have wing backs who are actually center backs so that you don't have any defensive liabilities on the pitch. I just know he was ripping out whatever hair was left on his head after watching Cancelo get torched time and time again. Well, Khusanov, he's one of those physical beasts. He's fast enough where he could play wingback, but he's a really good defender, able to deal with crosses and aerial duels. Of course, as usual, it's going to take him some time to adjust to the Premier League. That's the case for any player who's switching leagues and countries, but especially for a player who's coming midway through the year. Like, not only does Khusanov have to deal with the fact that he's moving from France to England, from Liga to the Premier League, but he's had no preseason to gel with his teammates, to, have some time to hit the ground running. At least in the preseason, you play some friendlies, you get some training sessions under your belt before you get into the thick of it.
I'm in the thick of it, everybody.
Now, Khusanov's physicality and aggression can be seen in this graph provided by The Athletic. Obviously, what stands out is his interceptions, his ball recoveries, and his blocks. Now, he doesn't tackle a lot. Maybe it's because he read that Maldini quote. Maldini is universally seen as one of the greatest defenders to ever play the game, and he averaged only 0.5 tackles a game across a 24-year career. So more tackles isn't necessarily an indicator of a better defender. Just look at Virgil van Dijk, who's the best center back in the Premier League right now. It's not like he's always running into tackles. Now, Khusanov's pass percentage is quite good. He just doesn't attempt that many passes. Now, reportedly, that's due to the fact that Lens likes to use its fullbacks to push the ball forward. So the center backs are generally asked to play very simple passes. They're not asked to break the lines with these incredible long balls or super risky through balls. So that's a part of his game that he's going to have to improve, because at City, he will have more responsibility and there will be a greater focus on keeping the ball. Like, the City center backs not only hold the ball, but they literally hold it until one of the attackers presses them and then they play it out. That's going to take some time to adjust to, especially since at Lens, when he did try and play more advanced passes, they didn't always connect. I feel like with more reps and practice, he'll definitely get better, just because Lens isn't a super heavy possession-oriented side. But that's the main area of his game that he's going to need improving. He's no Pau Kubarsi. What I can tell City fans, though, is to be optimistic. His best qualities are traits that you cannot teach. You cannot teach a player's speed and aggression and having heart to make blocks. These are characteristics that you either have or you don't. Nobody can come and teach you to put your body in the way so that a shot doesn't go in. Those are just the intangibles that some players have and some players don't. But at the same time, despite the money that was spent, you have to keep in mind that Khusanov is a project. Like, don't forget, it was only a few years ago that he was playing in Belarus. He was bought by Lens for some players' weekly wages, and now he was sold for 40 million euros. Combine that with the fact that City earns having their best season, and it's gonna naturally take him some time. Like I said, it's already difficult to come into a new club and a new country mid-season, but he's coming into a City team that realistically have been struggling. Wait till this poor guy sees Kyle Walker's positioning. Having said that though, he is somebody that can not only help the team right now, but can get so much better. So yes, he's a project. He has a lot of skills that need developing, but he can contribute to winning football now. He really has the potential to become a monster, because imagine someone with his speed and interceptions also being super good on the ball. That's the part where Pep will help him improve. He will improve his footballing IQ. Because think about it, Pep rarely asks his center backs to make crazy passes. They just need to be comfortable holding onto the ball under pressure and picking the right passing option. That's pretty much it. Nobody's asking Khusanov to play a 40-yard diagonal switch to the opposite winger. He just needs to be able to find the open man when they're getting pressed. Now, until he gets to that level, he is someone that can increase the physicality of the club, offer some speed and energy to a team that desperately needs it. It's of course also a huge moment for Asian football. He is the first player from Uzbekistan to play in the Premier League, and he isn't joining just any Premier League club. He's joining the best English club of the last decade. So this is a huge moment. This is potentially somebody that can be anchoring the new era for Manchester City. To see why City were so desperate in need of a signing like Khusanov, you gotta check out this video right here.